The Galactic Council had made its decision 3 cycles ago. The Karvath species' apex predators from the dying world of Karos Prime were to be terminated. Every last one of them. Commander Siren stood in the observation deck of the Meridian Dawn, watching the orange sun of Karos Prime flicker like a candle in its final hours. Her reflection in the viewport showed a woman hardened by decades of service, gray threading through her dark hair, scars mapping stories across her brown skin. But her eyes, those hadn't hardened yet. "The planetary evacuation is complete, Commander," her second officer reported. "All Council species have been extracted. The Karvath containment facility is the last structure with life signs." Saren nodded slowly. "How many?" 47 juveniles. No adults survived the solar radiation surges. 47 children. The Council had been clear. The Karvath were too dangerous. In their 300 years of spacefaring history, they had raided 17 systems, enslaved 4 species, and refused every diplomatic overture. Their evolutionary biology made them perfect killers, 6-limbed, armored, with venom that could paralyze prey in seconds and a pack intelligence that rivaled Earth's wolves. When their sun began its premature death, the Council had seen an opportunity. Natural extinction. Clean. Justified. Siren had read the reports. She had seen the footage of Karvath warriors tearing through Alliance defensive lines. She had spoken to survivors who still woke screaming, remembering those obsidian claws. She had also read the biological surveys. Karvath cubs were born helpless, blind, dependent on adults for 5 full years. They learned through play. They formed emotional bonds. They were children. "Bring the ship into low orbit," Saren commanded. "Prepare a shuttle." Her second officer's antennae twitched, a Centauri expression of confusion. "Commander, the orders are to maintain distance and confirm extinction when the sun—" "I heard the orders, Lieutenant." Siren turned from the viewport. "Prepare the shuttle." "That's not a request." The containment facility had been built by the Alliance occupation forces, sterile white walls, energy barriers, automated food dispensers. When Siren entered through the main airlock, the cubs scattered like mercury, flowing into corners and behind equipment. All except one. The cub sat in the center of the main chamber. Small for his species, perhaps 3 feet tall, his black carapace still showing the mottled patterns of youth. 4 of his 6 limbs were tucked under his body. His eyes, all 6 of them arranged in a crown around his head, tracked her movement. Siren knelt slowly, placing her rifle on the floor and sliding it away. She raised her empty hands. "My name is Siren," she said, knowing the translator implant would convert her words to pheromone signals the cub could understand. "What's yours?" The cub's mandibles clicked together, a sound that would have sent her combat instincts screaming a year ago. Now she recognized it as curiosity. "Vale," the translator whispered in her ear, picking up the chemical signature. "Are you here to kill us?" The question hit harder than she expected. Children shouldn't have to ask such things. No child should know that word with such certainty. "No," Saren said. "I'm here to offer you a choice." Vale's head tilted, a gesture so achingly familiar despite the alien biology. Behind him, she could sense the other cubs edging closer, drawn by the sound of voices. "The Council wants your species to end here," Saren continued, each word deliberate. "They've seen what your people have done, the violence, the wars. They believe the galaxy is safer without the Karvath." "We are monsters," Vale said, and the translator caught something in the pheromone's resignation, perhaps. Or shame learned from the adults who had raised them before the radiation claimed them. "Your children," Siren countered. "You haven't chosen anything yet. That's what they don't understand." She leaned forward. "I'm human. My species, we've done terrible things too. Wars that burned continents, weapons that poisoned our own world. We nearly destroyed ourselves 12 times over. But you changed?" Vale asked. "We were given a choice," Saren said. "When the Alliance found us, they didn't see what we were. They saw what we could become. It saved us." She paused. "I'm giving you the same chance." She activated her wrist display, projecting a star map. "There's a world, remote, resource-rich, no sentient species. It's an unclaimed space the Council doesn't even know it exists. My ship can get you there before your son dies." Vale's eyes widened, all 6 pupils dilating. Behind him, the other cubs had formed a circle, listening. "We could live?" One whispered. "You could live," Saren confirmed. "You could build something new. Choose who you want to become." She looked directly at Vale. But I need to know, if I do this, if I defy the council and save you, what will you choose? Will you become the monsters they fear, or something different? The silence stretched for long seconds. Siren felt sweat on her palms. This was madness. This was treason. This was— "We want to be different," Vale said, and 46 other voices echoed in chemical harmony. "We don't want to be what they were. We want to choose." Siren felt something break in her chest, or perhaps heal. She stood, retrieving her rifle, not as a weapon but as a tool to lean on. "Then we have about 6 hours before this sun explodes," she said. "Let's get you out of here." The meridian dawn broke orbit as Karo's prime sun entered its final collapse. In the cargo bay, 47 Karvath cubs huddled together, watching their homeworld die through the viewscreen. Siren stood with them, one hand resting on Vale's carapace. The young Karvath looked up at her with those 6 eyes that held fear, yes, but also hope. "Commander," her second officer's voice came through her comm. "The council is hailing us. They're detecting unusual mass in our cargo bay." Siren smiled grimly. "Tell them we experienced a malfunction. We'll file a full report upon return." "Commander, they'll know. They'll charge you with—" "I know what they'll do, Lieutenant." Siren looked down at Vale, at all 47 futures she held in her hands. "But I'm human. We're very good at choosing hope over fear." She paused. "Even when it's stupid. Especially when it's stupid." Vale's mandibles clicked in what she had learned to recognize as a laugh. "Thank you," he said simply. "Thank me in 100 years, Siren replied, "when you've shown the galaxy what the Karvath can really be." The ship jumped to FTL, carrying its precious cargo toward an unknown world and an unwritten future. Behind them, a sun died. Ahead of them, 47 chances at redemption sailed through the dark. And on Earth, humanity watched the stars and remembered what it meant to be given a choice, and to give one in return.